January is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and Alzheimer Calgary is using this as an opportunity to dispel one of the most pervasive and harmful myths about dementia, which is that the condition is not primarily genetic. Dr. Zara Goodarzi is lead for geriatric medicine at the University of Calgary. She joins us this morning to share more information on the latest research. Good morning.
Hi.
Great to have you in here. And let's just play off of what I mentioned off the top there about the fact that a lot of people assume that if dementia doesn't run in their family, they're going to be fine. That's not the case.
Right. Yeah. So at least 95% of Alzheimer's disease is not genetic, so not inherited. So there's a lot there that we can all look at for ourselves to look at how we can reduce our own risk of dementia.
And what would be, if it's not genetic primarily, what are those factors that increase the risk of getting dementia? Yeah,
so one of the easiest things to think about is if it's bad for your heart, it's bad for your brain. So high cholesterol, high blood pressure, smoking, alcohol, all those things are not good for our brain. But other things like being socially isolated or having poor hearing can also increase our risk of dementia. And another thing, brain injury. So wearing our helmets can make a big difference too.
And a lot of the symptoms you just mentioned there, I mean, those are things you want to prevent regardless. We were talking before the segment here, Alzheimer's and dementia doesn't exist in a silo when it comes to health conditions. So what are some things that you can do easily to prevent that risk, not just for Alzheimer's and dementia, but some other health risks as well? Yeah,
almost everything you would do to prevent dementia decreases your risk of heart disease and can improve your bone health. So being physically and cognitively active are hugely important. As I mentioned, anything you can do to prevent brain injury, and some of our newer stuff looking at the idea that visual impairment or hearing impairment can also increase our risk for dementia. So getting your hearing checked, going to see the eye doctor, wearing those earplugs if you're at a concert, all of these things can help reduce your later life risk of dementia and are really important.
It seems like kind of a simple question, but an important one. When should people start taking this seriously?
You know, any day is great. So today is perfect. If you can start any of those things, it can really decrease your risk. And I think importantly, we don't need to make it complicated. Like you can go to a class, a fitness class with a friend, and that includes a few things all at once, right? To try and help you to reduce that later life risk. I think there's a lot of perception, and certainly dementia is common as we get older and that risk increases. But the things you do in your earlier life will affect that risk. So any time is a good time to start.
And you mentioned too the social aspect that can be really beneficial too, and that was something we lost a bit during the pandemic. We were playing a lot of mind games and puzzles and stuff, but you need that social element to really reduce the risk as well.
100%, and I think that's also key for looking at how it affects our mood. We know that depression can also increase our risk of dementia, and so looking at social interaction can also help us reduce those risks. So as you mentioned earlier, these things all layer on top of each other.
Any interesting advancements in research right now?
Yes, I think our newer research really shows that air pollution can also increase our risk of dementia. So if you are able to get out, getting out of the area where there's more pollution can also be really key. And then there's a lot of work looking at how we can be better at early detecting the people who have the highest risk.
Right. Dr. Goodarzi, great to have you in today.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
for
problem.
this.
Thank you.
And if you want more information, you can head on over to stillme.ca.